Okay, so today is April the 4th, and we have been working on converting what I call the measurements to other measurements, dimensional analysis, and this is just the review that some of my classes have been able to finish the whole thing in class. Some may have had a few left. Kind of mattered how hard we worked in class. I'm going to go through just kind of working these out in case you've been absent and not real sure or whatever we need. So, here we go. Number 1 is 10 gallons equals how many quarts? So, I start out by writing the gallons on top because it's what they gave me. I always put a multiply in a fraction bar. If gallons is on top here, it goes on bottom there. And quarts. Then, finding gallons to quarts on the chart, which will luckily be on the wall tomorrow, it is 1 gallon to 4 quarts. Now, the one thing that's getting a few kids still is, when it is a whole number like this, I need you to imagine there being a 1 right there. That way, because our next step is to multiply straight across. So 10 times 4 is 4. Going straight across, 1 times 1 is 1. And 4 divided by 1 is 4. So, our final answer on that one is 4 quarts. Any questions? I don't know what's wrong. Oh, I did it wrong. What did I do wrong? Thank you. Fix me, people. 40 divided by 1 is 40, and the answer is 40. Thank you. I wonder why I had so many weird looks, but sometimes I make mistakes, people. Work with me here. I'm telling you, I'm just as human as anyone. Okay, number 2. We got 8 pounds. Okay, pounds is on top, ounces is on bottom. Kind of like the imaginary 1 there on the bottom. 1 pound to 16 ounces. Okay, going straight across, there would be a 1 on the bottom. And 16 times 8, 128. And 128 divided by 1 is 128. And then ounces. Everybody good on that one? Okay. Doing the next one, number 3. Oh, before you get too far, guys, you guys who are going ahead of me. On number 10, I need you to change it so that the fraction thing works out to 3 5/6. Otherwise, it's kind of weird when you type it in the calculator. It ends up giving you a decimal even though you're using the ABC button. Okay. Okay, yes. Do what? Number 3. Okay, what about it? Now, are you at the answer part of it? Okay, so let me kind of work it real quick. Let's see. 215 feet times feet over yard and 3 feet and 1 yard. Is that where you're at so far? But you got 215 on top and 3 on bottom. Now, personally, I would just use the ABC button. So, I've got a fraction here, and we need them all to be fraction answers. So I would do 215, ABC 3, and see what you get. That way, that is your mixed number. So it's 71 is the big whole number, with a big space and then 2/3. So when you write it, it should be 71 2/3, like that. Does that help a little bit? Okay, good question. Seriously, it's weird. Like, to see all these different numbers, one minute you're getting a fraction or you might get a decimal, it gets a little confusing. Okay. So number 4, I got 23 gallons. Okay. Personally, I go ahead and I put a 1 underneath this. At 92. I don't trust my own math at this point with the headache that I'm rolling with today. It is 92. Did you get 92 for number 4? Good. So good. Okay. 6 ounces. Okay. This is kind of like the first one that we've seen that has a bottom number. Like, be careful, because what this means is 6 times 1 is 6. 1 times 16 is 16. Now, if you can't simplify this thing, use the ABC button. 6 ABC 16 is 3/8. And that's what it is. Basically, it divides top and the bottom by 2. And yes, they've got to be in simplest form tomorrow. Does that make sense? Everybody good? Okay. Here we go. Let's see. 6, 48. I got 6 for number 6. Now, don't let the big number scare you. I know it's a gigantic number, but 1 ton, 2,000 pounds. Okay, if I multiply straight across, over 2,000. Now, don't let that scare you, because we can all use the calculator. Parents may not know about the ABC button, but all it does is simplify a fraction. So if I type it in there, that's the 450,000. When you see the fraction bar, hit the ABC button and do the bottom number and hit equals. And it happens to be a whole number, like it's even. It's 225. You don't really think of it being that small because you're working with that big a number, but you could always do, if you're wondering if you're right, and do divided by 2,000 and make sure it comes out even. You should get the same answer if it's an even number. Okay. Supposed to be doing weird stuff. Okay, number 8. Another large number. Let's see how this goes. not sure, use the ABC button. ABC 3. I get 1526. Listen, I'm just asking you to kind of keep working though. Use this to check your answers with. Just practice. It's kind of like you're seeing if you know what you're doing or not. Huh? Like, do you need me? Oh, good. Keep going then. Okay. It's kind of scaring me. Okay, number 9. This is one that bothers me because the 1/5 we've not seen very much of, but all you do is take the fraction like it's written. Make sure you put your letters on top. That way, when you write the other side, those letters go on the bottom. What you're looking for is on top. And then looking for yards to miles. 1760 to 1 mile gives me 1760 over 5. Now, once again, if I'm not sure, I can use the ABC button. I know that a 5 will go into that 0 evenly, so it should be an even number, which is 352. Okay, number 10, kind of odd. We need to change it to 3 5/6. So, first, make it improper. You got to do 6 times 3 is 18 plus the top number 5. So it is 23 over 6. And 23 is miles. Times miles on the bottom, feet on top. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Okay. Now, multiplying straight across. I do get a 6 on bottom, and on top, 23 times 80 equals. Okay. Now, I got this gigantic number on top. I'm going to use the ABC button. I'm kind of clearing it out. 121440, ABC 6, and you should get the even number of 20,240. It goes an even amount of times. Only if you change that first fraction, like I asked y'all to change that to 3 5/6. If you didn't, your calculator's giving you some weird number. Okay, number 11. Get 41 over 2, 20 and a half. Okay. Uh-huh. Are you sure? I'll take your question. It's okay.
Which one goes in which? 2 pints, 1 quart, or 1 quart? Because the way that it's looking.
2 pints, the pints is on bottom, is 1 quart. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Flipped it. Okay. If I hit the ABC button, I get 1,760. Okay. 5 tons times tons and pounds. That's 2,000 pounds. Equals 2,000 times 5. 10,000. Guys, you should be checking. If you are done, please check. Cups to pints, 2 cups to 1 pint. And then the last one. But listen, no decimals. All this has got to be fractions. So when you do 25 divided by 2, try not to do the divided by. Do it as the ABC button, and it'll give you the fraction every time. So 25 ABC 2, and that'll help you. Okay, wait a minute. Fluid, I literally, like, my head is hurting. 8 fluid ounces to 1 cup. Thank you, I'm losing my mind. 80 over 1 equals 80. Okay. Be ready to show me these tomorrow. You should have work on them and all that good stuff. Especially if you have me 4th period. You should be done with it. Be ready. Measurements will be on the wall. You don't have to have them memorized. Thank goodness.